Welcome back to the show. This week we're going to get this engine out. We're going to get it split from the transmission, set it on the ground. Transmission's on the ground, engine on a stand. We might blow apart the engine, definitely take off the pan. Who knows, we might get something else done. That's the goal. Back in a minute. Hey Chevette Nation, we're back. I gotta get this engine out. So let's see if we can do this. A lot of this is just mocked up anyways. Never even bolted down. Wiring harness stuff, just sitting there. Clutch cable, more harness. Throttle cable, don't need that. Alright, I got a chain going across the engine. That should be everything we need, right? Got my transmission cart ready. Let's do this. Nothing can go wrong, right? And here's your tech tip for the week. Take a piece of pipe, weld it to the back of your engine hoist, put a bunch of rotors on there. That'll add weight to the back side of your lift. That way, when you pick up the weight, the whole engine hoist doesn't want to flip over. Some of you may remember I was pulling the engine out and it slid on the chain. Scared the bejesus out of me. So there's an old trick. I used to know it, forgot about it that day. Now I remember it. You take a couple of bolts and put them on either side of the hook through the chain. Now that chain cannot slide through the hook on the engine hoist. I'm ready except for the motor mount bolts. There we go. And I'm not bleeding. You gonna be that way? Whoa! Okay. Okay, she's back down on the jack stand. From previous experiences, I've discovered that when you lift up the entire car, when you're trying to pull an engine, bad things happen. I have this, oh wow, when did I do that? Had to have been 2008. I'll see if I can't dig up a picture or two of it here. I bought an old square body Suburban, big giant pile of garbage Suburban. Mostly all I wanted off it was the engine and transmission. Matter of fact, it was the engine and transmission I traded to get this car. Where's my creeper? How can a garage be so small, be so hard to find my stuff? Found it. So when I was pulling the engine out of that Suburban, that garage, I hardly had any clearance, any headroom. That was my first shop. I called it the big shop. It was tiny. That thing, I paid, what was it? I paid $100 a month for it. This wasn't too long ago. Less than 20 years ago. I got that in 06, maybe 07 is when I got it. I know I got it before I had the Suburban. Then the Suburban ended up living there for most of the time that I had it. So because of the clearance issue, I had the front wheels off of the Suburban. It was a 3/4 ton with the big, tall, ugly wheels. So I had that sucker as low down as I could. The caliper, or the rotors were a couple inches off of the floor. And I'm picking up with the hoist. I don't think it was this hoist. I think it was the blue one I had before this. Matter of fact, yes, that's what killed the blue one. So I'm jacking it, I'm jacking it, I'm jacking it, and I'm watching the engine, and I'm like, why isn't it moving? And about the time I stop and really start to wonder why is it not moving, the whole thing comes crashing down. The front of the truck was lifted probably about 4 inches, dangling off of the hoist. And it was ugly. This broken link, this was the one that snapped and caused all the ruckus that night. And that sucker, when it flew off, I was like this, saying, what's going on? And that piece of chain, actually it was from here, flew by my head like this. Right by my head. That one scared me. Alright, let me get this cross member off for the transmission. Now, have you guys seen that new one, Pole Barn Garage? I'll see if I can't put a link in the description, if I can figure out how to do that. This guy, I think his name's Dalton, in Missouri. He's got this total box of crap 1970 GTO. Yes, that body style, but no, not a desirable car. This thing is a piece. That car sat on a farm in Texas on a ranch, and it was used for shooting practice for years and years, like 30 of them. And you can imagine the thing is pretty messed up. He's putting this car together. He's trying to do as little as possible to the body. He's trying to retain the shot up, bullet hole riddled exterior, but he's got a fairly fresh 400 in there. He's got rebuilt front suspension. He's got a new rear end going in the back. He's fixing this thing up nice. His goal is to drive it. This thing, there was a cactus that was growing inside of it. There was this much sand on the floorboards. There was a cactus growing up out of it. He says he's still growing the cactus, and it actually has a bullet wound in it. The YouTube algorithm has really favored him, and that's great. That's awesome. Check him out. Give him a follow. Give him a thumbs up. If you like this kind of crap, you'll love his kind of garbage. He's a knowledgeable guy. Humorous, too. He's a funny man. Probably going to be sending him some parts. I'm waiting back to hear if he needs the parts that I'm offering him. Or parts, singular. I don't have much here. Not for a GTO. Added bonus, when he saw this project, he thought it was cool. Come on, I need to have vice grips somewhere. It's like the second most important tool. That's right, vice grips are number 2. They're not the most important. That's a good question. What's your favorite tool? Channel locks, pliers, big giant torque wrench. What's your favorite tool? I like violence. But yes, the hammer is my favorite tool. I like the violence. I love them. I've probably got about 20 of them. No two alike either. Got some that are similar, but no two are alike. I could have just used those vice grips, huh? How can this go wrong? Cross members out. Let's go. You're gonna stand right behind me, aren't you? The car is back down to about where it needs to be, ish. Give or take a foot. Oh no, the shifter's still in there. I'm already picking up the car again with the engine hoist. Okay, I cannot pick up the car off the jack stands. pieces. Now I got to get that oil pan, got to get it cleaned up, get it to work, have my buddy work on it, see if he can't save it, make it worth actually owning. Yeah, he's still an awesome dog. Here it is a week later. My welder buddy said it would take him a while to be able to get to it. I have the oil pan over here. I need to clean it up. I've got the MIG welder. I need to put it together, and I need to go ahead and do it myself. Again, he did give me pointers. He did tell me what I was doing wrong. Who knows? I might get it right this time. Otherwise, I am going to have to pay somebody. If I get that done in a timely fashion, then I'm going to address some other welding jobs that need done. Like maybe the firewall. That's it for tonight. Hopefully, I get to all of this. Get some stuff rearranged and cleaned up and hooked up. We can get to doing this. Don't forget the safety glasses for this. I already cleaned it up with mineral spirits. Mineral spirits mixed with Dextron transmission fluid. You mix the Dextron in there, and that helps keep your hands from getting too dried up and cracked. It actually works wonders. So what I'm getting ready to do now is I'm cleaning up all the mess that I made before, grinding all this garbage down. Then I'm going to clean it again because I'm still feeling dirt and grease in here. And then I'm going to start welding over all this again. Between the contamination on the sheet metal and the improper settings, I was set up for failure to begin with. So, going to clean it up, start over, see how it goes. We won't talk about how much grinding and how much welding I did to get this built up, and we're not going to look at the inside of the pan or, yeah, like I said, I'm not a welder. Now, so I need to test this because I don't want to bolt it onto the engine and have it leak. That would be bad, especially with how much of a pain in the butt it was to get this engine out. So I need to test it. I'm not going to use water. It'd freeze if it was water. It's been in the teens here lately. I could test it with gear oil, but that's not going to flow very well out of a hole. I could use ATF, which that'll flow through a hole, but this is expensive stuff. I don't have very much regular Dextron too. I'm a firm believer in the synthetic oils. What I can put in here, solvent from my little solvent bin. I can pour that in here, fill it all the way up, and then watch the bottom of the pan and see if I got any wet spots. That stuff will find any holes and just work its way out. Not gonna lie, I'm a little scared to do this because it's gonna leak everywhere. So here's what I got. I've got a tote lid. Take that, set the pan in the tote lid. I don't like messes. I got half of a Mountain Dew bottle. Scoop, dump, and see if it starts leaking. If it doesn't leak instantly, I'll probably let it sit overnight and see what happens. I think I've already got some leakage going on. Oh dear God. Up there too, huh? Yeah, to be honest, some of this doesn't surprise me. Oh, wow. Yep. This is what we call in the industry not good. And not tonight. Charge up all 5 batteries that I burned up and then see what I can do. Bummer.